Welcome to an episode of You Haven't Read What? I'm Krysta.
And I'm Christina. Join us to explore unique genres, childhood favorites, and literary classics as we dive into each other's favorite reads.
Where one of us is very familiar with the book, the other is reading for the very first time. Let's go!
Hello!
Hi. Bye. No.
She wants to take a nap. So
Take a long nap.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
We're going to get through the rest of these.
I get through. I'm excited.
Yeah. The last couple of chapters.
Good climax here.
There's no coming back from this. Yeah. I'm super excited to hear your opinions on everything and all of the whodunits.
I'm proud of a couple of them I was very right on.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the rest
One
was
female you were blatantly wrong on.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, so our chapters are don't take drugs, obviously. There's no coming back from this. Poppy Lively. I totally should have done this better. The Getting Lost Game and The Braille of Attraction. So,
I
yeah,
like that one.
I know.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Don't take drugs. It's just funny.
It is funny.
Because that's where we're starting.
Right.
So I can say.
Right.
I love this chapter so much.
Well, and what's funny about it is like the term drugs has changed so drastically over the last 5 years or so when pot became more legalized and all that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even call it a drug anymore. I mean, it's like eating lettuce, but you're smoking it instead.
Eating.
I mean,
Yeah.
in all honesty, I've never done any sort of drug.
Nope.
But I don't think, if you're going to do it, you do you.
Yeah. I
Try and stay off the harder stuff that kind of messes you up a little bit more. But other than that, people are going to do what they're going to do. And you are there to support them. So that's about it.
Yeah. No, I'm completely there with you, especially, so in this particular chapter, it's marijuana.
It's gummy.
Chewable, edible. That's
edible.
what I'm looking for. It's chewable vitamins is what I was thinking of.
Could you imagine?
No.
Right?
Boy. But yeah, no, always been the you do you, obviously. There's a whole lot of look it up yourself. There's a whole lot of racial history that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever. And it's like, okay. I was kind of years ago along the let's make this like cigarettes and whatever and legalize it and tax the heck out of it. And it's no different than gambling and drinking and all these other terrible things that we do.
Yep.
We both consume alcohol.
Yes, we do.
It's no different.
Nope.
And
you guys have seen us drink wine. So and whiskey and all kinds of other things.
Good stuff. Water tonight. I'm super dehydrated.
I am too. I can feel it.
And I don't smoke. I'm super allergic to cigarettes.
Okay.
And so that's where I get extremely frustrated when it comes to whatever you're smoking. If you're doing it in a non-smoking area, stop.
Yeah.
Please stop. That's always super rough for me because, I react extremely quickly. But I'm like, if that's something you want to do in your private life, go for it.
At some point, I think it'd be interesting though to try a gummy.
No. My job will never let me.
Well,
I'm okay with that.
I'm not talking about your job or anything, but I'm kind of how would I react on one? That's where my thought process is.
I will sit in front of you with the camera and just follow you around like a GoPro all day.
And that's really the only reason I would ever really try one is just to kind of see what.
Sheer curiosity.
Yeah, just the curiosity factor of it. There is a drug reason. There is a reason I have never tried it. It is very personal to my family that I've never tried any sort of drug at all. But it would still be interesting to be like, am I a muncher? Am I a paranoid one?
Eat all the Doritos like Alan does.
Yeah, exactly. What is it that I would crave or what I would do? Would I be like I'm already a very hyperactive person a lot of the time.
Would it mellow you out, or would you
or would
be
it like
on the
ramp
roof?
me up even more? Like caffeine.
I gotta clean the gutters. Right? Like, whoa.
Well, for me, caffeine does the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Like I drink caffeine and I get really tired unless I drink it like all day. If I drink it within like half an hour to an hour, like
I get so jittery.
I get super tired. Like I can take a nap after drinking 1 or 2 Monsters. It doesn't matter. But if I drink a Monster or I drink a coffee or whatever, literally all day, I don't necessarily get tired. But yeah, caffeine completely does the opposite for me. So I'm like kind of curious, like what would a gummy do?
Controlled environment.
Yeah,
a couple of people around to keep you safe.
Yep.
And again with GoPros.
Yeah.
We'll do an experiment later.
Right. Let's not say we did.
No.
But either way, I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
I know I am an angry drunk. So when I drink too much, I get angry because I have to be in control.
Oh, yes.
So that,
yes.
I mean, I can count on my hand,
strong.
like, probably once or twice that I've actually consumed enough alcohol quickly enough to feel it. But I remember the very first time that I was like, okay, not going anywhere, friend's birthday, like nobody was going anywhere. And we're just all playing games all night. Nobody's really paying attention. And I had to go to the bathroom. I was walking down the hallway and I turned the corner into the bathroom and I clipped the doorway. And I was furious at myself that I could not turn through a doorway. And I was like, ooh, it's time to stop. It's time to find water.
That is hilarious.
Angry at myself for not being in full control.
So do you get angry at other people
I have no idea. I really don't want to find out.
Okay.
I probably do.
Tim. Just kidding.
Hey, it was his birthday and I am the reason he was alive. No, just kidding. I was force feeding him water all night. So I'm the reason he was not incredibly hungover the next day.
Yeah.
We had our DDs. Everyone was doing it safely. Just going to put this PSA out there. Have your designated drivers.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like petting the carpet because the dog had walked away and he thought he was still petting the dog.
I can see him doing that too. That is the best because I can literally picture Tim doing that.
I'm like, and water.
I would have given him a stuffed animal of some sort. Here's your dog. And then given it like woof woof sounds every once in a while.
Yeah, it was fun. Good night.
Oh
Good night.
Goodness.
But
yeah,
that was my I got angry when I could not turn a corner. So I was like, whoop.
Right.
Cool. Noted.
That's funny.
Don't do that again.
That's funny. Okay, so what do you think the plan is? Like before we found out what the plan was,
I had no idea.
Did you have any clue what she was even thinking?
I knew she was gonna confront him, like mano a mano, like one-on-one. I knew that was the start of the plan. I kind of assumed that she would let one of them follow along or hide somewhere, like propose a place and have them hidden ahead of time with a camera kind of thing. Or go somewhere that you had Travis up in the rafters. Like let him have a camera and lure 3 into there. Like I guess I assume she wouldn't be fully alone doing this and running away.
I kept asking myself, where's the recording?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you get all of this on even just a phone recording? Like, you didn't even have to take the video. Like, just record him saying the things. But then at the same time, I remember she's 50. Like, that probably wouldn't have been the first thing that she would have thought of because, like, when you're 50, you don't necessarily, like, you had phones, but they weren't, like, I mean, we were around before the internet. Like, even both of us that were around before the internet. So it's one of those kinds of things where you're kind of like, is it really the first thing that she would have thought of? Or would it have been just to like confront him and be like, yo, I got my balls now. So I'm going to confront you.
I grew a pair. Let's go.
Right.
No, I guess that's maybe why she should have had, I'm going to say maybe had a little bit more faith in those around her.
In her posse.
It's still a little hard with what was the crew I had last time? The depressed dad, untrusted only child, and the gay star. She should have had a little bit more faith in her superhero crew.
Yeah.
To back her up. because then Emily would have absolutely thought of that.
Yeah, for sure.
If here, I'll put my phone and record, just put it in your pocket and do nothing. Don't touch it.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's maybe why she should have trusted them a little bit more. But I mean, jumping ahead, it works out.
Yeah.
I see something I forgot to look up. I forgot to look up who Herman Blatterman is. I don't know who that is.
I want to say that's a movie.
Oh,
it's like I would get my phone, but I dropped it on the floor somewhere, so it fell out of my pocket. But yeah, I think it's like a movie because I've heard the name before, but I don't know exactly unless that's his name. Because he's, if I remember correctly, he's the third Herman Blatterman. I think that's what it was. But it's... Oh. I'm pretty sure that's why he goes by 3 is because that's his name.
Yes, you're right. That is his name.
But who is the one right before it? Because she talks about Robert Redford. My Hubble. Like my Hubble. I don't know what that means. It says, my Hubble was not Robert Redford, the ultimate romantic loss. 3 was Herman Blatterman. And nobody in the 21st century wanted to be a Herman Blatterman.
Which is 3.
Yes.
Got it.
That's his name.
Yeah. Now I'm tracking
Robert Redford is in...
Oh, gosh.
Lots of different movies.
All sorts of things.
Yeah. I feel like there's one... like red something, like red, not Red Dawn, but
no, he's not Red Dawn.
A dog. I don't remember anymore.
It's like
anyways,
a dog.
There's like a dog, I think, on the cover.
That's really
of one of his movies. I think.
Right. He's known for The Natural, Ordinary People.
Oh, The Natural.
Okay. Oh, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Oh, okay. He's been a producer now. Oh, no. Somebody wanted.
I mean, yeah. But what does my Hubble mean? Is that the telescope? The Hubble?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. That's why I was just double checking to make sure there. I mean, I'm Googling on my phone, so no surprise I'm getting this telescope and space stuff. Right. But yeah, no, I'm not finding any other like easy synonyms for that.
Okay.
So, yeah. Unless
there's something to do with Robert Redford in a movie.
Maybe.
Specific.
I'll Google that later.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, Travis backing her up about being stealthy, about living on set. Nobody knows. I was like, you guys are cute together.
Yeah.
I was like, I like this friendship. This is a very nice blossoming friendship between the two of them.
So on page 255, she realizes like her life lesson. Like what she feels that she has learned. And some of it like definitely reminds me. So I'm just going to read this little paragraph here. Mm-hmm. There was so much to learn, and it occurred to me that the largest life lesson of all had to be answering the question of how much to give, how much to keep. How much do you matter versus how much do others count when trying to be a mother, friend, or good person? My mother knew to take care of herself first, and I learned the opposite in reaction. I couldn't fault her anymore. I didn't agree with her, but I got it. To me, like, my husband and I are very yes people. Like, we tend to say yes, even if it stretches us. But sometimes it's like one of those things where you're kind of like, who do you say no to? How much can you give to other people? And
there's a breaking point.
There is, but we haven't found that breaking point yet. But hopefully we don't. But at the same time, like there's certain times where I'm kind of like, but we know that this person would do the same in this scenario for us if we needed it. That kind of thing where you're kind of like, you go back and forth. Mm-hmm. And that Chelsea and Poppy kind of have that relationship too, where like what it might be odd or like an uneven relationship sometimes, but at the end it does even itself out eventually.
I think she says that in the very last chapter.
Yeah, there's
that
something
she's like, this
about
is what
that,
we always do even if we, fall apart. I'll get to that
for sure.
later. But even if you kind of fall apart and separate and haven't talked in a few days, like you can always come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think in that sense that she is actually like she's learning it and she's living it and she's actually figuring out those things, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Because it's never too late to learn something new.
Nope.
Even if
Especially
it's
about yourself.
Exactly.
Always learning.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure.
Yep.
You can be a good friend and say no.
Yeah. So,
okay.
if I had strange candy out, would you eat it?
I'm going to say yes, only because I trust the fact that you will not put drugs out in your kitchen table unlabeled.
Yeah.
Guys, leave stuff in the container where it's labeled.
Well, it technically was labeled.
It wasn't in the container.
No, it was next to the container. Because he can't open up the container very well, which is why it was next to the container on it or whatever.
Leaving, prescription meds not latched because, it's hard to get it open, which some of them are a pain in the butt.
Yeah, for sure.
But you latch the thing when you have people over, if you've got kids. Latch them. This is the same.
Yeah. I mean, to me, did it look like a melatonin or did it look like a dot? Because she loves dots.
That's I'm sure
so
it just looked like a dot
like
gummy
dot.
kind of
exactly.
Yeah. Some sort of gummy candy. Let's go with dots because she likes dots.
Yep.
Also, if she likes dots, she should be able to identify a dot. But
true.
I was laughing as soon as she. Sorry, I think I was Splinter. As soon as she realized what she had done, I was like, oh no, this is about to be awesome. Or really bad or awesome.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, she did admit that when she tried it before, she got paranoid and
about the car parked outside.
Yeah.
Started hiding, recording it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Paranoid about a random car outside. It's like reading, Facebook neighborhood things sometimes. You're like, this person ran by my house at 5 a.m. What do you think it means? And I was like, it means they're out for a run before the sun comes up. Calm down.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I get so many of those.
Oh my gosh. But then Alan decides to show up.
I love that he just pops one.
He's like, I'll just eat one.
I'm joining you.
Oh, so you're going to join me. But he's like, it usually takes more than one. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But,
you do grow an immunity to certain things.
Yeah, for sure.
Not immunity, but it takes more.
But I think it's funny that he is actually super excited that she has one, she got one, or she ate one, because it's going to loosen her up and it's going to make her a little bit different. And he's super excited to see that.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And I guess I shouldn't have been nervous that he was going to take advantage, but I was very glad to see that he didn't.
Yeah.
Because he could have.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if she doesn't really know what's going on and is paranoid and blah, blah, blah. He absolutely could have taken advantage of the situation, but he was classier than that.
Yeah. Well, and not just that, but I mean, she could have done the same thing in the situation he was in.
And he was all puking and drunk. Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
I think
he was in his underwear. So, I mean, come on.
I just think it's nice that he decided to lay down and sleep, in quotes, with her.
Yeah. I think he just sat there for 5 minutes till she started snoring and then wrote a post-it note and left. I don't think he stayed very long.
He probably did, but you never know.
Make sure you're alive, you're breathing. Like us with, infants. Okay, the chest is moving up and down. All right, I'm out of here.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, so.
Yeah. Oh, and organizing calms her nerves. The fact that she just started wiping off the lamps and the ledges and all that. I was like, same girl. Same.
Not for me.
Oh, I felt that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, when I'm nervous, oh, man, all the laundry gets done. Yeah. All of the dishwasher gets emptied real quickly.
Cassie tends to pull out the refrigerator and clean behind it and
nice.
Do other things like that. She does deep cleaning, dishes, laundry, the whole 9 yards too. But she tends to clean other things that don't usually.
Yeah, that makes me nervous. Somebody scratch my floor, but yeah. No, I do all the random organizing. Not even just cleaning, just sorting.
You ready for the next one? You have your book open, so that's why I was.
Oh, the last. By next one, do you mean chapter?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quickly before we leave this chapter, I loved her last line, which was, "Don't leave, just stay put for a change." And I was like, that was not directed at you.
No, it wasn't.
That was her.
Yep.
Just somebody in my life, don't leave me.
Yep.
And yeah, I was like, ooh, there's a lot more honesty there
Yeah.
besides just don't leave me alone tonight.
I mean, it's similar with Alan when he was talking about his ex too. So like
They both have this fear of, which might make for a rough relationship.
Yeah.
But they both have this fear of the other person walking out the door. Rightfully so.
right.
Rightfully so. In both regards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like that last line was like a nice little bookend to the chapter of like, she's saying her truth.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
people.
Yep. And it just shows that she's growing and that she's getting there. So, so there's no coming back from this. Title of the
read
book.
that somewhere before.
Title of the chapter. Right.
Name drop.
So I like the fact that she keeps calling 3 a foe.
Yes.
He's my foe now.
Yes.
It just makes her.
I thought it was
like,
a typo at first. When I first read it, I was like, is that supposed to be 4? Or no, oh, foe. Oh, as in like, quote unquote, the bad guy.
Well, and I kept thinking of fairies whenever I was reading it. I was like, oh, it's very like, why am I thinking of the only word Fantasia? That is not what I'm thinking. That movie is creepy. Any kid scary movie out there, Fantasia is one of them.
So what's really funny is, you know, at the beginning of this, we were hinting at why Krysta is tired tonight. Krysta is in her Spider-Man sweats tonight.
Right. I've got Grinch on.
We got Grinch over here and
Christmas
Spider-Man
Grinch.
over here. I can't lift my leg because my legs hurt.
Right.
We surprised the kids and went to Disneyland for 3 days.
Yeah.
So 30,000 steps a day for 3 days. I'm dying. But we had a phenomenal time. But last night, we went and saw at Disneyland, they have the Fantasia show, Fantasmic.
Oh,
It's what's
yes.
called Down on the Water. And most of it is like modern movies. It's all Rapunzel and
okay.
it's Tangled and
Yep.
Beauty and the Beast and blah, blah, blah. But the kind of like what's happening with Mickey in the background is it's supposed to be his dreams.
Yeah.
And that is kind of pieces of it, that there is a whole Fantasia element of it with
Yeah.
the elephants and the creepy elephants
Oh,
and
yep.
the brooms going down the stairs.
Yep.
And Tim leaves over and goes, "The year Walt discovered LSD."
It really was. Like, it's a trip. And not just that, but it's still scary as an adult. And I don't know why. Like, it
So,
is one of those movies that is
It's just weird.
It is.
It's just weird. And now, again, I will back Walt Disney all day. Love the man. He had his issues, but he truly was just experimenting because the way Technicolor, like new
Yeah.
color schemes for television had just come out. So that's
Yeah.
why he made it. He was just playing with sound
Right.
and all that. The best way, the only way at this point to watch that movie is with a live orchestra.
Oh, that would be cool.
We had a venue in Maryland when we lived there that had a
Okay.
summer concert series. So
Yeah.
you had the state orchestra, usually with a lot of guests or a guest conductor.
Yeah.
So we had John Williams a couple times and some
that's so
really
cool.
famous conductors, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And then they played the movie on a screen in the background.
Yeah.
So I went and saw Fantasia like that. We saw, I think we saw the first Harry Potter like that. We saw like a handful of things for like
Wow.
friends' birthdays. So I was like, that is the only way to watch that movie because it puts the music front and center and the creepy scenery in the background.
Right?
But yes, it is a trip.
It is. But like when I was thinking of the word foe, I just kept thinking of like
I mean, friend
fantasy
or foe.
style,
Yeah.
movie or like books and stuff.
It's very knight in shining armor, which kind of fits
Yeah.
here. It's kind of the self.
Yeah.
My daughter had a shirt when she was really little that said self-rescuing princess.
Oh, yep.
And yeah, so I think of that of
Yeah.
like now Poppy's figured out it's a little bit fairy tale-y, but in a more, I don't know, like Mulan kind of way
Yeah.
of like she's not looking for the Prince Charming.
Yep.
She's doing it for herself.
Yep. Well, and in one of the chapters, she talks about, I think it might be the last chapter, where she talks about Robin looking like Snow White, who's just rejected the prince. She actually says that in her thoughts. And I'm like,
yes.
oh, that's cool. Okay. I like
Yes.
that. Right? But yeah. So do we really think that Alan and Poppy are just BFFs? Because I did not. Throughout the entire thing, like there is a coy ness of their flirting. Like she just says it how it is with him, and like I almost wonder, did she really not know who he was or how famous he was until she Googled him?
I think so. Only because
she had no idea who he was.
I am also a horrendous person with names.
True.
So even if somebody had starred in a movie that I've seen, they came and said their name and be like, that's nice. Like it would probably take a minute for me to be like, that's who that is. And also, in fairness, now with the little kids, I'm falling behind on my, PG-13 R-rated movies. But like there are so many things out right now. People are like, you haven't seen them. Like, I have a 7-year-old. No.
Right.
If it's rated PG, I've seen it.
Right.
So that's also kind of my like, has she been stuck in air quotes here, in Robin's movies for so long that maybe some of the more adult popular would have escaped her if Robin's just not into his style of movies.
Yeah.
Like,
that's very possible.
She could have just missed it.
The other part too is like, I think there comes a point in an age though where like you're not supposed to do every single thing with your child. Like you do a lot of it still, but not everything.
Did Poppy get that memo though?
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how I feel, is like she's very invested in what Robin was doing at the time and everything. And I feel like everything else kind of went to the wayside at that point. But
I'm sure Robin went to the movie with friends and but on the flip, I don't think Poppy would have gone out and been like, "Hey, you're old enough to stay at home. Order yourself a pizza."
Because she talks about not dating and all of that kind of stuff. And like to me, there's a certain age where you can leave your kid at home, and she could have gone on dates.
Yeah, or even a self date.
Yeah, like by yourself.
Hey, I'm gonna go sit at Starbucks and read my book for an hour.
Yeah. And I think like there is a breed of parent that doesn't want to do that. And I think that's fine. But sometimes I feel like that breed of parent forgets sometimes like that they're not just a parent either. So I don't know. Like I like having my nights off. Usually it's Tuesday nights. Like it just tends to be what the night is for us. Bob is on Wednesdays. Like there's what we call our off nights. Like we don't do anything family those nights. It's daddy-daughter date nights, mommy-daughter date night, and we go from there.
Which are fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. Plus, you get that one-on-one connection, but you also get the time alone when you need it. So, but yeah. So, anyways, so back to her. Go for it.
So I like, as she's going through all this with 3, she said there's no good to the bad with 3, because her mind kind of starts putting in like, but, and she stops herself really quickly. And I was like, okay, the one caveat, big asterisk I'm going to put on this is he did get you the job.
Yes.
Not with the purest of intentions.
Right.
But he got you a job and got you out of a big mess.
Yeah.
Potentially.
For sure.
Potentially. So I was like, maybe there's some good with this. But yes, I very much appreciated her stopping the
horrible talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's more like letting him gaslight her into being like, but.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think she's also starting to learn that caring for herself isn't totally selfish.
Oh, God, no.
Like, you have to, while you can put your kids, in the forefront, your marriage in the forefront, things like that, the only reason that you have kids and a marriage and everything else that you do is because of you. Like you are alive, you are doing things, you have to come first. Your health, whatever it is, like it has to come first. And so sometimes like I think people think that like if you're focused on yourself, you're
being selfish.
Yeah, you're too selfish that way.
And you're taking away either from your kids or your job or your whatever.
Yeah.
Or your health. Like because like even if you don't have a family.
Right.
Like you're by being, you can still be selfish, seen as selfish. You're not actually being selfish for, sitting at Starbucks and drinking that wonderfully tasting sugary mocha
Yeah, exactly.
with a book. Like, how dare you be that selfish
Yeah.
and not consider your health? Like, oh, dang it, I needed a minute.
Right.
Like, it's
Right?
fine.
Yep, for sure.
Stop judging people.
Yeah.
Just worry about you.
But I just don't
100%.
think it's it's something that she's learning. It's something that she is figuring out. And I don't think that 3 ever truly cared for her. And I think
now completely agree.
Yep.
I backtracked everything I said about him not knowing what he was doing last week.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think he had long-term intentions of like, ooh, I can keep manipulating this person.
Yeah.
But I think he was constantly looking for the easy sleeping situation, the easiest hookup, the easiest breakfast, the easiest empty juice box.
Yeah.
Like he was looking for the easiest of all these.
Yep, for sure.
Get stuff for free.
Which kind of brings me, like, we never find out about his long-term relationship. And it makes me wonder if there really ever was one.
That's a good point.
Or if that was just a cover with her. Because,
to make her jealous?
Well, not just to make her jealous, but to be like, there was a long-term relationship and it wasn't with you. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. Like, be under my spell again, that kind of stuff. Because we both know that you want it. And so, like, obviously we're never going to really know more because in this sense, we're only seeing Poppy's side of stuff. Similar to like Harry Potter, you only see his internal.
There's a narrator.
Yeah. So it's just one of those, like, I kind of wonder if that was truth or not. Because if he did have a long-term relationship, you would think that she would have been able to Google that and find out who it was.
Or that
it couldn't have been
Emily would have spelled it.
Right.
Or Christy.
Christy.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll get the K name eventually.
Okay, good. So, yeah. So I just was like, I wonder.
He's been married to his job.
Right. I mean, it's a tough job. Everybody has stated it throughout the book, like multiple times. Like,
it's okay to be tough and not be an asshole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's easy to be nice.
I'll take advantage of others.
Right. So when she meets him at the psycho house, or do you have something before this?
No, this is when he,
Okay,
when
so like
he said a funny line.
He doesn't really say hi. He doesn't like give her a hug like he has been, or a kiss or anything. It's just straight to business.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wrote. No physical connection from him. He is there for one reason, and he is on it, and it is not her.
Well, yeah, I even wrote, I was like, let's see here. Once again, I don't remember. Oh, here it is. Once again, not saying hi in the way Poppy had hoped. 3 would. She realizes he's only meeting her for one thing, and it's not fun in a bed. So.
Or it's not her moving into his mouth. Still a weird phrase.
It is such a weird phrase, but yeah.
Sorry for everyone who lost sleep on that one. Yeah, and I liked his, I am less naturally ruled by the clock.
Like, that's what he used to say. Like, that is such a weird term. Like, I feel like this kid could have used some military school.
Yeah, that too. But there is a certain thing, there is a philosophy about there's a certain ease of life. It kind of comes with like separating from your cell phone and technology and Facebook, that if everyone took off their watch and had no clocks in the room and just existed for a day, like we would all lose our minds.
Probably.
But there's something very healthy about that, about not being
sure.
strictly have a tight schedule, 5 minutes, your day is planned. There's no room for, whatever. I had a coworker who said he didn't believe in alarms and never set an alarm, which was a little frustrating. We had early meetings, but but we just, it's kind of those things where he'll show up when he shows up. And it was some nights he stayed up till 2 a.m. playing video games with his kids, and he'd come in later and he's like, this is what I did last night. I'm like, you know what? Part of me is a little jealous.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
I could never live that way. My alarm goes off at the same time every day.
Yeah.
I need my alarm.
I mean,
I need my
have
clocks.
Yeah. I have a bunch of alarms and I have a bunch of reminders that go off at certain times throughout the day because if I don't do that, I will forget. Like I do struggle with the clock because like I always think, oh, it's going to take me like 5 minutes. And like an hour later.
Famous last words.
I mean, I told Bob we cleaned the house on yesterday and because we had some cleaners coming and
clean for the cleaners. It's a thing.
Exactly. It is. But I mean, if you had seen our house, it was a disaster. She can attest. It's been bad. Whatever. Okay. But anyway, so I was like, just if it has a home, put it in its home. Like basically,
if it doesn't have a home, put it in the trash.
If it doesn't have a home, either like put it in a box or put it in the trash, whatever it needs to happen.
That's what closets are for.
And I was like, put it in a cupboard. I don't know at this point, but he was like, I just want to know what the threshold is. Well, then he told me to go clean my office. And my ADHD brain
had a little bit too much fun.
Stuck on cleaning the office.
Oh, no.
Not
tidying
putting things together and throwing them in a corner. So the office is still not done. The office did not get cleaned by the cleaners. Will not get cleaned by the cleaners the next time they come either. But yeah, I just was like...
Now I'm committed.
Yeah, it's one of those like I'm committed. I've already started to organize everything and clean things. It's not going to get done before I go on my vacation with water. And so I was like, okay, they just won't be in there for the next 2 times and I'll make sure it's done for the 3rd.
We had a couple months with our basement with our cleaner. We're like, nope, just don't. If you feel like vacuuming around the piles, go for it. But just don't bother.
I have a lot of doomsday piles, but yeah, I just started cleaning and stuff and I was like, nah, okay.
Yeah. I just liked his that I was like, in this case, I'm less naturally ruled by the clock is like not a great thing. But at the same time, I was like, that's actually a really healthy mindset.
Yeah, it is.
Could never commit to it. But it is interesting that when they get into the story, 3 has the same story. It's just backwards.
Yep.
Which is clever in a few ways because one, I'm one of those people that I have no poker face. If you're trying to get me to lie, like you'll know. Yeah. Because I either just stumble my way through a bunch of shenanigans or I do the way around elaborate thing. I was like, that was way too fictional. And that's always the big thing is like people who are good liars, it's because they are based in the truth and they just branch off.
Yep.
And he does exactly that.
Yep.
And I was like, you have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. Well, and now it makes me wonder too, how many people has he fired over this and how many things has he stolen and sold?
Yeah.
Like, I'm more curious now because we never find out. And I'm like, okay, well, where's the next portion? I need all of the little strings to be like tied into a bow at this point. But yeah, it's like his story with Christy's story is the same, but yeah, at the same time, like you said, it is backwards, but
he's the victim.
Right.
Don't you feel so bad?
But you can tell that like she's just so over him playing the victim constantly.
Oh, she's so over it.
Yeah. And then she takes a picture of him holding the suit with the fixed button jacket. And I'm like, that's so risky. Like, if he had caught her.
Why was there nobody around her with the camera?
Right? Videotaping. Come on. There's always paparazzi everywhere.
Universal does a good job keeping them out.
Well, not as much security as there should be.
Nope.
But, yes.
We'll get to that.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'm going to call it UW. Sorry, from Seattle. That's University of Washington's UW. But University of Wisconsin? Badgers?
Yeah, Badgers.
Yeah. Or Volkswagen. I was like, wow, he really doesn't know her at all.
Nope.
This was not my first. This was like the nail in the coffin of like, you were not paying attention all those years ago. 17, 16 years ago.
Yep.
Like, you really weren't paying attention then.
Well, and not only that, but like, she has a big old Hogwarts sticker. Like, how can you do Badgers, Hogwarts?
Muggle on board.
They're so different.
Wasn't it
I mean, they're
Muggle on
both
board?
red. Yeah.
It could be.
I mean, they're both red, I suppose, but whatever.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Could just be black writing.
He doesn't even realize that he's caught in a lie either.
I think it just sprints away from him.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why? That's the one part where I'm just like, why are you running away? Like,
I think she just doesn't know what to do. Her nerves are done.
True.
Her nerves are
Probably,
shot.
yeah.
But, and I'm going to come back to this, but there's no coming back from this. Poppy was a clear threat by him.
Oh, for sure.
Like those words were a clear threat.
Yeah.
And we're going to come back to that.
So I have two questions. So one thing that we also never learn is what happened with her mother. Mm-hmm. Like, was she actually, because originally you get the impression that she's either bipolar or schizophrenic or something like that. She's got something mental going on, and she was always taking her pills and stuff. And she decided she wanted to be free and not take her pills anymore, so she leaves. I wonder, like, was she actually, or was it something kind of like the 1800s, early 1900s, where husbands were like, oh, she's acting hysterical, so we're just going to put you in a psych ward and blah, 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 blah.
Put you on whatever.
Right. So I'm wondering if like there was kind of that situation going or not. The other thing, like, and like, what actually happened to her mother? Does she ever go and look and find out? Because
Does she want to?
I mean, in all honesty, okay, so I'm adopted by my father, and my dad is amazing. I love him. He's been amazing. We've obviously had our tiffs and stuff like that, but I don't know my biological
siblings too.
Exactly.
Or parents and siblings, parents and kids.
Yep. But like, I don't know my biological father. I never met him after he left, and I will never have that chance. So it's one of those, like, he's died, or like he's dead. So like, I won't get that chance to know or to even get his side or to talk to him or any of that kind of stuff. And like, when I was a kid, I kind of like I wanted to know, but then as I got older, I was like, but he left. So why should I? And so I kind of wonder where her struggle and where her decision ended up being, if she might still have wanted to know. I mean, her mom could still be alive. We have no idea. I mean, Poppy's only 50. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm just curious, the mother aspect a little bit.
Yeah. No, yes. Not saying
It
now.
intrigues me because of my own situation, I guess.
Right.
So like, it kind of makes me, okay, where's my pretty bow? Like, I want to know.
Yeah. And I wonder if it's a combination of either she's still mad that she walked out. She's
Right.
never fully accepted that or come to terms with that. Or maybe she's afraid if her mom is still alive, what she'll find.
Right. True.
Because there's two very extreme opposite scary ends of that, of she's the one living under a bridge, taking God knows what, and doesn't know who anybody is.
Right.
Or she found happiness somewhere else and has kids of her own and just left Poppy and her dad behind.
Right. Yep.
Like, both those are equally terrifying to find out.
For sure.
And so, yeah, there's always that chance of like, she just
But now that she's starting to learn about herself and that, like,
this newfound confidence.
yes, I wonder if maybe she'll go looking or not at that point.
Well, and I also wonder because really, when she became an adult, like, she didn't have she had a few years. I'd say she didn't have a whole lot of time between hitting adulthood and really being able to go and have the resources to do that on her own and having Robin. Right. At which point her life was consumed.
Right.
And so, like, that was a very narrow window.
Yeah, maybe it was too small.
Be curious that, maybe she never was able. And again, we don't know what happened in the window. We know, obviously, she slept with this one guy who just up and left her.
Yep.
Doesn't even know he's a dad.
Right.
On the universe somewhere. So we don't know what other kind of maybe trials came along in that period.
Right.
Or whatever lies her dad kept putting in her head.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it was a very narrow window, but maybe with this new confidence, this new badass.
Yeah, maybe she'll want to learn a little more about herself.
Yeah,
and her mom.
She and Robin can go in this new Team Lively adventure together.
Exactly.
Robin can help her Google.
Right.
Because she has an interesting search history.
So my second question on that one is, what did you think her ace in the sleeve was?
Oh God, I had no idea.
You had no idea. You didn't have any thoughts. Okay.
I was hoping so she had a camera somewhere.
Right. But she says the ones that knew her, 3 didn't know her ace up her sleeve, except for Emily, Christy, Jeffrey, and Alan.
Yeah.
No, Travis. Not Christy. But yeah. Travis.
And it was just that she's sleeping on set.
Yes,
It's the ace in the sleeve.
The ace in the sleeve is that she's sleeping on set.
No, I had no idea. I was like, oh, what you got now?
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, oh, you'll have somebody jump out from behind a tree and be like, I got you.
Right.
Like, come on, Jeffrey.
Yep. And then they find Donna Clump.
Yes.
So her ace in the sleeve. So we moved into Poppy Lively as the next chapter. The ace in the sleeve is she's living on set. She gets onto her phone and starts realizing how people can get sucked into their phone and stuff. But then she notices a voicemail. And there it is. They found all of her money. They got all of it back. They found Donna Clump, like the whole 9 yards.
So now my question, though, and I don't know how the IRS works. She was paying her taxes through Donna all of this time.
So Donna was the accountant.
Yes.
Yep.
So she was paying her, and Donna was supposed to be paying the taxes.
So usually how accountants work is that they write the chat, like it's essentially like that.
Kind of like a middleman.
Yes. They're like the middleman.
So basically it's this last edge of this triangle that wasn't happening.
Yep.
So now, who pays that now? Now that they have found her and all of Poppy's money with her, is all of that like, oh, let's just assume that you had paid these taxes on time and you just don't get that back? Or is it, no, we're refunding you everything, and it is now Donna pays all of those taxes that she claimed to be paying?
You know, I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's
I was
a good
curious.
question. Yeah.
Because I was like, how much of that money do you get back? Because you still owe the taxes.
Well, and she's talking about all of her money coming back. So in a sense, it almost sounds like she gets it all back and that Donna is now responsible. But at the same time, like, you were responsible in the first place to pay all of those
taxes,
things. So I would think that the IRS would take that cut.
But I wonder if because of the investigation, that it like all the money comes back to her, and then there's like a reevaluation.
And that
and
might
she could
be it.
sue the bejesus out of Donna in
now
the
that
meantime.
She's going to jail, but she has no money of her own.
Well, most lawyers will, like, if you win, you pay no fees, and this is an easy win.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an extremely easy one. They're going to settle, done.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, of this, for sake of very easy math, overall this time you owe $10,000 in taxes. Now you're going to sue her and get $8,000 for her, so you're only paying $2,000. Out of that $10,000 you got back. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I was like, how does this work?
Yeah.
Or do you just owe nothing? Is it totally forgiven?
And the other part too, though, is like her situation makes it sound like she owed way more than that, because she has to sell her house, all of her belongings, essentially.
Because they'll put interest on it.
But
the IRS will put interest on it.
Like, even if it's $10,000, though, you wouldn't think that interest over 3 years would be enough to sell a house, all of your estate stuff, like literally take all of your money that you had in savings, all of your accounts, your daughter's savings for her college. Like, in my opinion, that's probably at least $500,000 ish.
Yeah.
If not more, that she has, that they've all taken, and then houses and all that other kind of stuff. Like, to me, it sounds like it's way more than just...
Sounds like a lot.
A little bit of money.
Yeah. So. No, it definitely sounds like a lot. And it could also be a case of, because we know the coupon business went sideways at basically the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
So it could have been like, okay, I've got this $10,000 saved up for college, and I've got $2,000 in my savings right now as I figured this out. And now here comes the IRS looking for their $10,000.
Yeah.
And plus 50% interest over 3 years is now a whole lot more. You've just wrecked the savings, wrecked this, and I still owe a lot more. Therefore, the house is next.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be just the thing snowballed. And
so once finding out about Donna, what's next? Like, she doesn't call Chelsea, which I was surprised by. Like, she doesn't call her until the next day.
She's still too focused.
Yeah,
she's still got to get this 3 thing laying flat.
But I would have thought she would have wanted to celebrate that at least a little bit with her friend. Like,
she kind of celebrates it with herself, because this is where
That's true.
my next note is. Then she says there's no coming back from this as an anthem, like as a self excitement, raise a flag,
That is true.
excitement.
That is true.
So I really like that she takes this verbiage in the title of the book, very clever.
Yep. And twist
That was
it.
a threat and is now her motivation.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, well played.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is true. So now she's been erased. Next morning, we find out she's
No
been
surprise.
erased. Yeah, we all knew it was coming at that point. But to me, the entire confrontation of her
Walking in on set.
confronting everything with 3 is almost movie worthy.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it reminds me of just like watching a movie and like the confrontation of it.
Somebody coming from the shadows
Yeah,
with their
exactly.
truth. And
Like, essentially, she walks in to, like, she's living on set, so she walks into the set and is like, hey,
I'm here.
yeah,
What you gonna do about it?
exactly. Exactly.
And 3 panics.
Yeah, and he's angry. But he also, she even mentions that he pauses. There's 2 pauses that, like, you can see all the emotions. He's conflicted with what he's about to do.
He's shifting gears.
But
He's
yet,
trying to decide.
as soon as, like, he just decides to go the evil route on both of them.
Kevin!
Kevin swoops in and bites him. Like, yes. Go, Kevin.
Get him. Bite him harder.
Exactly.
Aim lower next time.
Yes, for sure.
I like that Kevin immediately bites him and
And immediately becomes a dish towel.
yeah.
A breathing dish towel. Isn't that
collapse
what she
again.
calls her?
Yes.
I was like, that's funny.
That's amazing.
Yep, for
I was
sure.
like, go Kevin, and you.
Yeah.
Because then he pukes.
Yeah. Gags and then pukes. But
Can't
then
blame him.
Emily gets the phone and is like, oh, but it's a property phone for Universal. So
Dun,
it's,
dun, dun.
yeah. If he's been doing shady shit on there, he is in for it. So, I mean, that's
They
fun.
should also be monitoring that.
I know, right? The one thing that I take away from it, though, is that James, the director, which is Emily's uncle, decides to tell 3 to go away. He does not want to hear 3's side of things until he hears Emily's side of things. And I think for her, that is a big thing because
Huge.
she doesn't feel like anybody listens or cares.
Huge.
And he is taking, like, he's not taking a side, but he wants to know Emily's stuff before doing anything or making any other decisions.
Yes, absolutely. I think that was a huge motivation booster, self-esteem booster to Emily.
Yep.
And I think also he's always had this, maybe not always, but for the last few years, we know he and 3 have been close for a long time.
Yep.
And I think he's been slowly seeing this shift in his motivations and is kind of, I said kind of loosely, had the wool pull over his eyes.
Yep.
Because he cares, the director, James, cares more about team building than anything else.
Oh, for sure.
And that is clearly from day one not what 3 is for.
Yeah.
And so not what he's there for. And so I think the director's always had this like in the back of his mind, keep an eye on him. And so when somebody comes in with something extremely accusatory, he's gonna pump the brakes and time out.
Well, and he even says, he's like, we're trying to build something specific here, and this is not it. And his treatment of other people is not it. And I think it just goes to show that someone does care about Emily. Somebody does care that there is the truth. And whether like, and he even admits like stealing the clothing or whatever, it's all petty, like whatever.
So small.
It's so small for them. But at the same time, it's how you treat the people and how you like do all of that. So, yeah, I just found that really cool. And I love that James is securing Poppy's job and whatnot. But I like his statement of you are not allowed to live on set.
I said she was evicted.
Exactly.
She was evicted from set.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that Alan was scared for her. And then she said she has this, against the little inner monologue line, this is doing something you wanted for yourself. What she had forgotten that doing something you wanted for yourself would come with so much satisfaction and happiness.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you have forgotten how to take care of yourself.
I like that
So badly.
told Poppy to turn around, and then she notices Alan, and Alan's like, I haven't been in, like when 3 started lunging at you, I haven't been in a fight since junior high.
I like Poppy. I kicked a girl once.
Right? But I would have loved to see like Alan just like
deck him.
Yeah, exactly.
Just lay him out.
I would have totally loved to see that for sure. I mean, I was kind of hoping for it, to be honest, but whatever.
So Muriel knew the whole time she was living on set.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you are that kind of meticulous person like Muriel is, of course you're going to notice when somebody cleans everything constantly.
That's what Emily.
Like,
I like that she also was like, I knew it was there, but it's ballsy.
Yeah.
And it's desperate, so why not? And I was like,
right.
Did Poppy ever realize how ballsy that was?
Well, yeah, like she kind of refers to it towards the end about how cool it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure
the honey wagon
when she's saying goodbye to everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in the moment she realized how ballsy it was. I think it
No.
was just pure desperation.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I like that Muriel broke that down.
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting too is that Muriel keeps referring to how much she sees herself in Poppy. Mm-hmm. And because this isn't the first time that she said it either, that like Poppy reminds her a lot of Muriel. So it almost makes me wonder how old Muriel is, or if she may have grown up in like the Midwest and she just has gotten a lot more harder since she's...
She got thick skin.
Yeah, lived in Hollywood or whatever now. But yeah, I just was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, don't say anything. Yeah.
And now I find out Robin's back in her room.
Woohoo! She had the balls too. Wee-hee.
She stood up too.
Yes.
All these women growing balls.
I know, right? It's hard. It's hard to stand up for yourself sometimes.
Yeah. Especially when you have a job and a livelihood on the line.
Yep.
That's even harder.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robin gets to like be back in her own place. She stood up for herself. She told her employer, hey, it's hard for me to sleep here. And like,
if you want me to do what's best by your children,
yeah,
please let me have my own space.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, yeah, by this point, she's been sleeping in the room for what, 3 days?
Yep.
Two or three nights
Yep.
now? That, yeah, I'm like, now it's time to stand up. Like,
Yep.
I still stand by, like, a night.
Yeah.
Like, let it go.
Right.
Multiple nights now, when it's not part of your agreement, that's not cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that she claimed her room back.
I also like that she's starting to contemplate her life when it comes to moving back. If she really wants the house, if she wants to stay, like all of these things. And she's kind of coming into her own and gets to make her own decisions now. I mean, she's got a daughter, yes, but that daughter is off on her own. And so
making big girl decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe taking a gap year. Yay.
I know. Like, it's
Thank
one of those
you.
things where, like, not everybody always knows exactly what they want to do, and that's okay.
Yes.
Like, don't spend the money unless you really know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
what
Or
your life...
Go to community college and knock out
Yep.
the gen ed.
Yep, for sure.
Everyone is taking the same English and math and
Yep.
history class for the first year. Like,
Well, and there's so many colleges now, like I am all for a tech college as well.
Oh,
like
yeah.
tech colleges,
Tech school, yeah.
like amazing. They get you
Trade school.
trade schools.
There we go.
Where they get you into knowing different things and whatnot. But there are a lot of colleges out there that are giving free classes, and those free classes, take a couple of different ones and see what you enjoy, because what you enjoy might be completely different than what you actually thought.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Especially when you have a secure job like this.
Yes.
Like, it's not necessarily endorsing saying take a gap year and sit around on your parents' couch and not do anything.
Right.
But, like, if you've got a good job, if you're enjoying it, if you're not sure what you want to do,
Yep.
go play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go enjoy life a little bit. Yep, for sure.
Yeah. And save up.
So Robin knew everything.
Because of her Google history.
Well, her tells, yes. Yep.
Yeah, because that's a better word. I wrote ticks and I was like, that's not the right word, but her tells. Yeah,
her
you're right.
tells. Like, she's not a very good poker player. We know this.
Nope.
But
Again, I can relate. And then and then her combination there, but just the Google history killed me.
Google and
Because I was like,
Pinterest, yeah.
how often? Yeah, 107 ways to save money in grocery
On your
shopping.
grocery list, yep.
I was like, oh, I need that list.
Yeah.
And
And
but
then
I was like, how often does she check her mom's search history?
right?
Like, why is this a thing?
Right.
Or is it like, I know something is wrong. Let me go see if I can figure out what it is.
Right, yeah. for
Just
sure.
also, don't hide crap from your kids.
Okay, yes.
Be
completely
honest.
agree. Yes. So what I wrote is I said at some point kids become partners, and in that partnership you have to open up and communicate instead of protecting them. They can't learn if you don't teach them. And so at some point, like, you have to actually teach. And sometimes I will tell Water, like, hey, we can't get this time. Maybe we can save for it for next time. Like, because she wants everything that she sees on the shelves.
Like all kids do.
Exactly. And so, like, you have to teach them whether you want to tell them that the IRS is after you. I mean, that's your choice. But they can't help, especially when it's just the two of you. And it has always been the two of you. Like, they can't help you if you don't let them in. And I think
at some point they need to be part of the. Sorry,
the solution.
my pen is exploding here, and it's getting
inside.
ink. Yeah,
It's just getting worse the more you play with it.
I know, but it's also like I'm making little dots all over my paper. Anyway, sorry. Is like they have to not necessarily. They have to listen into the big decision making process.
Yeah.
They have to listen into what are mom and dad debating, mom or dad debating, and what are the pros and cons? How are they weighing them? So that way, and in like maybe give a little bit of input so that one, either the parent maybe hasn't thought about that,
Yeah.
or two, say, okay, that's a good thought, but that actually belongs in the con column because X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Or like, yeah, that's a good pro because of this, and this.
Yeah.
And like start learning that, that self-evaluation instead of the urge to just grab.
Yeah,
Or
for
just
sure.
go. Or
Yeah.
just make a quick decision. Sometimes you got to make a quick decision. I'm terrible at that. I wanted, and what's that called? Analysis paralysis.
Okay.
I end up in a lot. But yeah. But at some point it's like, and even now at their young, obviously my 3-year-old doesn't care, but at our girls' younger ages, like they still hear the debates. It's
Yep.
not a bad thing
Yeah.
for them to know that this is a decision. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yep.
We're
Like,
talking about it.
we're working on summer things, like the summer list. These are the things you're not allowed to do before going outside to play or turning on the TV or playing on your computer. And Bob had an issue with part of what I was doing. And so we had a discussion about it. And then I was like, well, Water needs to be a part of it because it's her
affects her.
summer. It affects her and what is going to happen. And so we brought her in on the conversation, and then we started changing things up a little bit, and it became more of a cohesive decision and everything. And so I think at some point though, like, you have to stop protecting them and thinking that they shouldn't know something is going on. So
It doesn't even have to be going on. Like, I mean, it's even the everyday adulting decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, thing one knew that when I was job hunting and like, this is a big choice, and she gets absolutely no say in it.
Right.
But like, she knows that I was stressed about it. There's a lot of interviews and craziness happening. And like, she was aware of that. And then same with like, we've started talking about, we want to replace one of our vehicles next year. And so she just hears us. Again, she gets zero input in the car we get, because otherwise it would be neon pink and
right.
Lord only knows what.
all over it with
Whoa.
lots of lights, because that's the kind of shoe she likes.
And probably small so that she could fit, she could reach the pedals. But, it's like, no, again, you don't really get a say in what car mommy and daddy get, but you are hearing us talk about it a year in advance and how we're saving and what options we're considering and all of this. Like, just her eavesdropping on it and asking questions.
Yeah.
That I was like, we don't have to hide these,
No.
again, good things, but big decisions.
Yep, for sure.
Don't hide this.
But anyway, so
Chelsea?
Yes.
Sorry, I moved this off of Robin.
No,
really
you're
quick.
good. You're good. So Robin has time to decide on what she's going to do.
Take the time.
Yep.
Love it.
But yeah, so Poppy calls Chelsea.
Chelsea. Chelsea.
It's not like he talks a lot.
She calls from a room with a dude in a coma.
Well, she didn't call. Poppy called. And
Well, then she hid in the
answered.
room with the dude, or unless she was already hiding in there.
She was probably already in there checking on vitals and things like that. I mean, she is a nurse.
And just plopped down.
And just decided to have a conversation with Poppy. That took a while. And I mean, and she's like, well, it's not like he could probably hear something, but it's not like he talks a lot. So I was like, yes, I love that.
I was dying.
I love her personality.
I love that
it.
reveal. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a dude in here. Don't worry about it.
For sure.
He's unconscious. I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's slightly morbid.
Do you know where the Barbara Manatee comes from? So the game, the Getting Lost game.
No.
So have you ever heard of this type of game?
No.
Okay. So it's essentially, if you get lost, you go and find either a police officer.
Yeah.
Or usually a lady. And the reason that they usually find a lady is because they're typically safer. I'm not a huge fan of that stereotype, but it is there. But essentially, the child that gets lost goes and finds a lady or police officer, and you have a code word. So like always know your parents' phone number.
Yeah.
So Water knows my phone number. So if she gets lost, she can say that phone number. And in order for them to know that it's not some sort of other person's voice or this or that, Poppy, can ask a question, and Robin gives an answer. And so their thing was Barbara Manatee.
Oh.
And
now I get it.
And I believe the next phrase is "I will always love you," is the Barbara Manatee song from VeggieTales.
Oh.
And it's where there's
funny.
a manatee, like an actual manatee, like stuffed animal. Is it Bob? No,
Yes.
Bob's the tomato.
Yes.
Larry. Larry is singing and dancing with Barbara Manatee. And so it reminded me of when I was babysitting as a kid, because that's what I did for our church. And we listened to a lot of VeggieTales.
So much VeggieTales.
But yeah, so that was their code word. And I kind of like the game because it makes sense to have that kind of thing. So like a strange person can't just, like if we're allowing our kid to ride their bike or something like that, and there has to be a code word that this person knows, instead of going, oh, your parent just told me to come and get you in my vehicle. What's my code?
Yeah.
Where's my code? Like, what is our secret code? And so they don't know what it is, because that's the whole point. It's
They're
a
not
secret.
supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that's kind of what that game is. And I mean, it's not obviously something she made up, but it is something that is more widely known, at least now
Not
that
by me.
I've gotten older. So
That's funny. Yeah, no, we haven't done that with the kids. I mean, again, little dude's too young.
Yeah.
But we haven't done that with the kids yet, but yeah, that's in college. A group of us had a code word that if somebody said, if you do you want to go and do X, it was a sign of I'm in trouble.
yeah.
Get here now, kind of thing. So we knew if somebody mentioned a certain word, it was
Yeah.
everyone is jumping in the car and we're going.
I want to do that, especially as Water gets older and doesn't want to do certain things with her friends. Be like, oh, but I thought we were going to get banana split or whatever. And that'd be the code going, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot we had plans. She can't go and hang out with you.
Yeah.
Or whatever
absolutely.
it is.
Yeah.
So that
Give
way
the
they
kids
don't
an out
feel.
so they're not embarrassed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. 100%.
But anyway, so.
The Braille of Attraction.
Yes. Well, first, Kevin has a party. Kevin is the honored one
guest
at the party because she bit somebody. Then we find out that she's only ever bit 2 people in her entire life. And one of them was Emily's mom's rock star lover person.
Lubber.
Yep, lubber.
I'm going to call them lubbers now.
And then we find out that Grandma had to go into a memory home.
Yeah.
And she sounds like a freaking blast because she calls her best friend to come and pick her up. And nobody can find her for hours. I'm like, yes, I love it. But now Poppy gets to keep Kevin.
She gets to keep Kevin.
Yeah.
Yes. And now she has an offer from Emily to stay with her. And I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm still not sure that's a great idea.
I'm curious what kind of apartment Emily has because I'm assuming her family comes from money. So then I'm kind of like,
Could be a little swanky.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's got an extra bedroom or or she's got a living room with the couch.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
isn't a we're shacking up on bunk beds sort of.
I would assume more towards an extra bedroom only because of the fact that like you can stay with me as long as you need until you find a place.
But we don't allow pets. Don't worry about it.
Kevin's not a pet. She's a person.
Yep.
But yes.
Oh, that was funny.
The Braille of Attraction.
That is a great name for this title.
Yes,
I never thought about it that way, the way it's said. I really like that. The Crying Man group. I'm here for it.
Yep. Therapy without the therapist.
Them. Yes. Good for them.
Yep.
They all need it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a safe space.
Yep.
This is a big thing that's come up. I've heard interviews in several movies, and it's also a theme in West Wing, if you've ever watched that, is where do quote unquote famous people go who need help, who just need somebody to talk to or need an AA meeting or need whatever on the regular. Like, that's a common problem to
for sure.
You can't just walk into any AA and not be judged.
Yeah.
Or walk into any therapist and everyone in the office is taking pictures of you on your way in. Like, terrible.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, having this little support group is brilliant.
Yeah,
on
for
set,
sure.
they all trust each other.
Yep.
Alan's gonna hate the name.
Yes, he is.
I was like, yes.
Yep.
Don't change it.
Yep. So does Poppy know that James was one of the most powerful directors before standing up to him?
Probably not.
Like that, I know, it's so crazy. Like she
Probably
just straight up just did what she was gonna do, and
I think she already assumed her job was gone, so who cares?
I think so too. Yep. It was either, I mean, it's one of those last ditch efforts, but at the same time, she was already content with not having that job.
She said goodbye to everything.
Yep. Yeah. Her on-set apartment. I love the name, the Honey Wagon. I have got to do something with it because
really
I freaking love it. It's so cool. Anyways, so Poppy and Alan. You need a sequel.
So
you need a sequel.
First of all,
Go for it.
Ryan watching Emily and Jeffrey, and I was like, is he jealous or is he interested in one of them?
Ryan is, I thought, married.
No, it was the woman that was married. Wasn't that the gossiping?
Oh.
It was the lady that was married.
Okay.
Maybe he is too, or maybe not.
Okay.
I guess I assume not because it was the gossiping lady who was. But I was like, is he interested in one of them?
Maybe. I mean, it's very possible.
Either one?
Or he's just curious about their relationship.
I think he's very curious about the friendship.
Yeah.
But just him watching them, I was like, oh.
Well, a lot of people, like even Poppy says that a lot of people kind of tend to think that they're an item.
Which, unless you know that Jeffrey's gay, makes sense. Like, then once you take a step back, it's like, oh no, this is very sibling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is honestly how kind of
like checking
Alan
his hair
and
then
Poppy are a lot with their bickering, their fake bickering. As I was like, that's very sibling-like.
Yeah.
Like,
but
it's more flirty.
Yes.
But it's still very sibling-like
I can't
initially.
call it a sibling because I want them to get together and that would be gross.
You can start with the bickering like siblings that turns into flirting, that turns into whatever.
Lubbers.
Lubbers. That's the sign you need to make. We just put lubbers.
Right. Exactly.
You haven't read what? Lubbers.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yes. Mm-hmm. So Poppy's flirting.
Yeah.
I can still put your pants on in the morning.
Yeah, and then gets goosebumps when they touch arms. And that's the Braille, which is adorable.
Yeah.
So stinking cute.
Yep. But yeah.
It's like, oh, well done.
And I wrote, finally, Poppy and Alan.
Yes.
So.
I wrote that I really liked the last line in Eyes, but I didn't write down what the last line was. That's the acknowledgements.
I think it's...
I'm going to needle a lot of help just so you know. I died.
Yep.
I died.
Yep.
I was like, that's amazing. Yes, I I love Alan and Poppy getting together after this. Great. I really hope they both see therapists first.
True that. Or together.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Both of them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they both need some confidence
Right?
help around others. But yes, reading the Braille on his arm is really cute. I
Yes.
was like, that's amazing.
Okay, so is this where I tell you what movie we're gonna watch?
Is it? Is it? Is it?
Do you want me to?
Yes. I'm also like still playing with my pen over here. Sorry.
Okay. So I originally, this is what I was going to do originally, was going to do The Intern. Have you ever seen it with, why am I forgetting their names right this moment? I'm blanking. Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro.
No.
Amazing movie. The reason I was going to pick it is because Anne Hathaway is a married lady who owns her own company.
Ooh.
And Robert De Niro becomes an intern for said company in his 70s, I believe.
Nice.
Because
nice.
he's bored at home and he lost his wife. So he becomes an intern. So it's basically the opposite in this situation.
Yeah.
So this was the original movie that I was going to do. However,
Bob
and I talked and I floated because this book is based on them making a movie about Harry Met Sally. I think we should watch that. Now, neither of us have watched it.
No.
So it would be kind of cool to see what the experience will be.
And picture them as dogs.
And picture them as dogs, exactly. So that's what I was thinking that we would do. Is
all right.
The book is literally based about them making
this
movie in dog form.
Which sounds kind of amazing.
But you do have to watch The Intern at some point because that movie is absolutely amazing and you'll understand once you watch it why I thought of it first.
We'll do it as a random one just because.
Yeah, sure.
Same like I'm going to make you do Monty Python or something.
There you go. But yes, so that would be a movie that I think we should. So we're going to do When Harry Met Sally. And then at some point, like I said, we should watch The Intern and then do a little snippet of that one too.
Mm-hmm. So I'm here for it.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
So we will see you guys for the movie. And
Yay.
I hope you guys enjoyed the book.
I did. Very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for a great first pick.
Yes.
I very much enjoyed it. But we have lots of questions.
I know, right?
So let's go talk to the author.
So, okay. Well, we will see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you for the movie. Later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode. If you had fun, please follow, download, and review this podcast on your preferred listening platform.
If you're ready for the next chapter, join the spoiler-free conversation on our Facebook group. Search You Haven't Read What? The podcast.
Or on Instagram and YouTube for exclusive videos and behind-the-scenes content. Have a great week.
And we'll catch you on the next page.